This morning through Tesla's Weeb account, they posted a new variant of the Model Y. This is not a leak, it's official from Tesla, and they're calling it the Model Y. At least that's how it's spelled on the back. I guess the official translation is Model Y L. Kind of a weird name. I think it stands for long version or longer version. With how inappropriate Tesla's been lately, I'm just grateful it's not called elongated version, but honestly, as minor as a change as it may sound, I'm actually quite excited for this one. For one, because I get so sick of talking about AI and robotaxis all the time. Reviewing robotaxis is kind of like reviewing buses. It's like you just sit there and hope that nothing goes wrong. I don't find it particularly exciting. I'm an EV guy. I want to talk about the electric cars themselves at the end of the day, and this is the first bit of news that Tesla is actually willing to do something in regards to their vehicles to cater towards customer demand. And this has been a common complaint of the Model Y for quite some time. Before the Juniper refresh, we technically had a 7-seater Model Y, but it was very, very tight. I've sat in the third row myself, and my wife and my friends have joined me, and it was clear very quickly this is meant for little kids. It's not super roomy back there, and we've been seeing tremendous success in the 3-row SUV segment. Like the Kia EV9 has been very popular, a lot of hype coming up for the Ioniq 9 as well, and the Rivian R1S has been outselling the Tesla Model X. So we were all kind of disappointed to see that Tesla did next to nothing with the new Model X. Basically, bumper camera, ambient lighting, call it a day. But thankfully, it seems like Tesla is actually making some notable improvements in regards to the size of this Model Y, which personally, I actually think is going to be much roomier than the Model X, and I'll explain why in this video. For one, just looking at the exterior dimensions, it's 7 inches longer than the traditional Model Y, and it's 2 inches taller, which should mean the third row has way more space than before. And before, a lot of you start commenting, yeah, the third row in the Model X is not that good and the Model X is still bigger. Well, keep in mind, there's only 3 inches in difference now between the X and the Y, but because the Model X has a longer hood and an overall shorter wheelbase than the new Model Y, I actually think the new Model Y L edition, or whatever it's called, is going to be more spacious on the inside because that longer wheelbase, and particularly with smaller wheels overall than the Model X, it means that the wheel wells and the intrusions on the interior don't have to be as drastic as they are. Plus, the Model X still has those falcon wing doors, which add a lot of extra padding to the interior. They also eat into headroom because you don't have as much glass above you as you do on a panoramic Model Y. Glass roof, which definitely had to be changed, so before everybody starts commenting, oh, this is just for China, it doesn't apply to the US market. Well, keep in mind, the refresh Model 3 launched in China first, as did the refreshed Model Y. They announced it there primarily, and then it came to the US a few months later. And because I don't think it was cheap for Tesla to build new body panels, new glass pieces, there's frankly a lot of changes they have to make with this edition. It's a different hatch, it has to be a different glass roof piece, different glass hatch piece, the C-pillars had to be tweaked. This is a lot of modification, in my opinion, just for one specific model in the Chinese market. The Weibo account said that this is launching in the fall, so it's kind of a teaser. That's likely why they're not showcasing the interior yet, but the rumors around this Model Y were all alluding towards a 6-seater model, which probably is going to have some kind of more luxurious emphasis, I think, at least to start. We can see from the images Tesla posted that the front seats are definitely a different design than the traditional Model Y seats. In my opinion, they look a lot more luxurious and cozy and comfortable, so I'm excited to try them out. But if we've learned anything from watching Tesla's behavior in the past, I think this is actually pretty predictable. You launch in China first because Giga Shanghai is the biggest factory with the best margins and the best efficiency right now. So you start out with a luxurious premium option, which is probably going to mean 6 seats, 3 rows with 2 seats each, and maybe slightly more comfortable front row, maybe even offer ventilated seats in the second row. And because there's only 2 seats in the second row, it's really easy for you to climb in and get to the third row without having to adjust any kind of bench seats like you did on the old-fashioned 7-seat Model Y. They sell that for a while, rumored to cost around the $60,000 price point, which is pretty high, but considering this will be competing, I think, a lot with the Model X, it is substantially cheaper than a Model X, and they don't even offer the S or X in a lot of the countries that Giga Shanghai ships to. So Tesla sees how much margin they can collect at the $60,000 price point. Then, down the road, they offer a cheaper variant of it, and that will probably come with a 7-seat option where you just have a traditional additional bench seat in the second row. Then a few months later, maybe they launch it in the US, and a few months go by after that. They see how much margins they can collect on the 6-seat option in the US, and then offer the 7-seat down the row, which is a little bit cheaper. At least that's how it is with the Model X. The 6-seater variant is actually the more expensive one, which is weird, but it kind of makes sense when you use captain chairs in the second row. But I think long term, this will eventually trickle down in price, and there could be a 7-seat Model Y with a roomier third row, just textile seats from front to back, make it rear-wheel drive only, give it the not premium audio system, get rid of the HEPA filter, get rid of the second row display, and boom, I think we could easily be looking at a $50,000 to maybe $48,000 or $47,000 Model Y with 7 seats. Elon did say a while ago they were cooking up more affordable models as well as vehicles with higher occupancy, so a few more seats, of course. And I'm just so thankful that Tesla's been willing to redesign the Model Y to accommodate for that third row and make it less of an afterthought like it was on the previous generation. That one was really, really tight. I don't know the data on how many people were opting for the 7 seats. I do have a couple friends that have them, and they like them because they've got a family. They can fit their kids in that third row, but it definitely doesn't age well as the kids get older and bigger. And because the Model Y is not having to stuff a giant plaid powertrain in the back like the Model X is, and because it has a longer wheelbase and a glass roof, I personally think this will be a roomier 7-seat interior. I know a lot of people online were already mad that, oh, Tesla didn't really do a full-size SUV. Some people were complaining Tesla should just make an Escalade, giant boxy electric SUV, to which I wouldn't be opposed. I would be very excited to see them do that. Probably would sell a lot better than the Cybertruck is selling right now. However, I think a lot of people are misunderstanding and underappreciating the importance of aerodynamics. While the Rivian R1S is a really cool SUV, and honestly, compared to the Escalade IQ, it looks very tiny, it should be mentioned that when you make vehicles that fat, that tall, and that big, and that boxy, you eat into the efficiency a lot. So if you guys want to have a range over 250 miles on a big SUV like that, you're gonna need a massive battery pack, which drives up the price. Easily could become a $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 electric vehicle, which I don't think is gonna move the needle or move inventory for Tesla all that much, which is why I'm in favor of them maximizing interior space as much as possible with a fairly small exterior and aerodynamic shape. And I can tell just by looking at the Model Y L that this is still going to be pretty aerodynamic, pretty energy efficient, and capital efficient because they get to share so many parts with the normal 5-seater Model Y. Same doors, same windows, same front headlights, same display and steering wheel in the front and everything. A lot of the same motors, I'm sure, possibly even the same battery pack. No changes to worry about there. They just change a couple of the headliners on the inside, like the C-pillars, couple of the glass panels and body panels, and you make it much more family friendly and more spacious on the inside, but you keep your good range. You get over 300 miles, probably on an 80 kilowatt hour battery pack, and that allows you to price it way more competitively than if they were to make a giant full-size, Chevy Suburban equivalent, which is what a lot of people are asking for, but I don't think they realize the added weight and the range hit would probably make it far less desirable than this model, and I hope it comes to the US in the not too distant future. The Tesla account said that it'll be launching in China in the fall, which means if previous timelines are to line up with how Tesla launched things in China and then the US later on, there's a chance we might get this around Christmas time in the United States. But don't get your hopes too high for the cheap model because, of course, the tax credit is going away at the end of September, so that's already going to jack some prices up, and I think when this comes out, it's probably going to be fairly heavily desired, so Tesla might lean into the luxurious features first, as in when it launches in the US in December, it'll probably be a 6-seater with maybe, hopefully, ventilated seats in the second row at a $60,000 or $65,000 starting price. Everybody online will complain that it's too expensive. The YouTubers will go out and buy it for content, and then once Tesla gets their healthy margins, they'll offer cheaper variants with textile seats or 7-seat options that hopefully let you fold the second row flat so it can still be good for car camping. But oh my gosh, after car camping in our Model Y for several weeks, I can tell you that extra 7 inches added onto the back would go a long way, as would having a 2-inch higher roof line. So I can't wait to learn more about it. I will cover more information as Tesla reveals it on this channel. I wonder if the North American market is already frustrated because this will likely impact sales. If you're waiting for a third row in your Model Y, this is a good reason to wait, because I feel very confident that it will launch in the US. I'd be shocked if it didn't, and I could be wrong, but I feel pretty confident that with the longer wheelbase and the glass roof, it will be a noticeably more spacious third row than even the Model X, which is not known for a very spacious third row. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on the Model Y L down in the comments below, and thank you to everybody supporting this channel directly. Seriously, helps us out a ton, as does just watching these videos, so thanks again. Have an excellent rest of your day.